What's up, dudes? We got Hostile Coffee, 7:30 p.m. on the dot. We drinking coffee like a mofo up in this bitch. Gotta stay up till 2 a.m. I'm really excited because today the homie Zach is checking in. He's actually the only check-in that I have today. Mr. Zachary Upperman, my boy from out in Utah. Well, he's from Ohio, but I met him in Utah. He's coming out today, and yeah, I'm really excited because I haven't seen him since, it's been a couple months, but he's one of the homies that actually is like, yo, we should link up, and it actually happens. So thank you, Zach, for being a real one. It's really interesting, like, people will say, like, oh, yeah, I would love to meet up sometime, dude, but, like, when it really comes down to it, it's just false. So I'm really grateful for people that actually pull through like that. My homie Kim from Utah is coming out here in, like, June as well. I call her my grandma because she's not old, she's like 50, but I was just giving her shit, and I just started calling her my grandma. But, yeah, today's been a good day, dude. Kind of a rough start this morning, because, my sunburn, dude, that shit was, like, ripping this morning. I felt like the blisters, like, I don't know, my forehead is kind of, like, a little blistered up and, like, peeling a little bit. And then my chest just feels like a fucking abomination right now, but we're straight chilling. And then I also, like, my nose is like running all day today and like stuffed up, so like I was like, fuck, I hope I'm not getting sick. But then I just said, you know what, no, I'm not sick. It's just a stuffy nose, and now we're good, dude. The power of your word is crazy. But yeah, I worked today at the map shop, and now I'm working here. The next couple days will probably be a little boring video-wise because it's just going to be work. But homie Zach is in town now, so Thursday before 7:30 at night, we'll be able to hang out, do some stuff, probably get some cool videos. And then Friday, we're planning to, well, I just brought it up to him just now, but it'd be cool to go out and surf, which I've never done before, and I don't know if he has either, so that'll be fun because we might just be total fucking doofuses on the boards. I gotta grab some of this creamer. If you ever come to this hostel, this is where we keep all of our coffee and stuff. But no, dude, it's been an interesting day. Kind of was like in a weird mood for the first part of it, but then I was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you put yourself in this mood, you can get yourself out. And I started to just, like, the thing is, dude, it's like, it doesn't matter what's going on the outside. What matters is what's going on in the inside. Like, that's what's actually happening right now, dude. Like, all this outside stuff is just like, it just is what it is. But like, the thing that you're actually constantly reacting to and feeling is what you're doing inside of yourself, in your imagination, and that you have complete control over. And you know, some people will say, oh, I don't, but you're saying that in your imagination, where you could just as easily say, I am in control here, I run the show. So, you know, it was like, I don't know, I was like in a weird mood, but I realized that I was thinking about stuff that, like, doesn't make me happy. Just stupid bullshit that like doesn't really deserve my attention at all. And most of the time, like, this happens like unconsciously. Like, it's like a program that's running in the background, and the remedy to it is to simply become aware of it, become aware of like, okay, this is what I am thinking right now, and just simply think something else. And like, anytime your mind goes back to like the bullshit, you just gently bring yourself back. It's not, you don't fight with the thoughts, you don't argue with it, you don't try to reason yourself out of it. You just look at it for what it is, which is a thought that you are the creator of, and you understand that it doesn't have any power unless you give it to it. You are the power in your mind. And so like, I was just thinking about some shit that like wasn't really productive or worth my time and energy and attention, and so I just shifted it to something better, something greater. And like, just like that, the whole day just shifted, and I started feeling a lot better, a lot more confident, a lot happier. And this is the practice, dude. And it's not just like a one-time thing. It's something that you need to be practicing every moment of your life, because you are always going to be thinking, always going to be imagining something. But if you become aware of it and you do it consciously, you'll never suffer. You'll never feel anything that you don't want to feel. You can regulate yourself how you'd like to. But I'm gonna go put this stuff in the little coffee bar area real quick, and then I'll probably throw on another little talk later. I gotta kind of do some stuff real quick, but I figured I would fill y'all in. Oh, also, this morning I had a great interaction on the trolley to work. I sat down, and this one girl sat across from me. Like, they were like seats against the wall, so we were like facing each other. And this girl sat next to me, and then this guy pulled up on, he had like a little e-bike, and he sat next to me, so we're both facing the girl. And I had my headphones on, and I saw her like talking to me, but I took it off. I was like, oh, what? And she's like, I saw you the other day. And I was like, what? Where? And she recognized me from my backpack, and she said she saw me like over in the area where I work. And then we all, I gave her a compliment, she gave me more, we kept giving each other compliments. And then this other dude chimes in, he's like, hey dude, like, that's a sick backpack, man, like, where'd you get it, blah blah blah. And we were all just complimenting each other. And then like, this trolley ride is like 30 minutes, and we all just talked the whole time. And one of the main themes was like God. And so, the dude, his name was Tron, which was crazy. But he was telling me about how like he used to be a gangster and like drug addict and like dealing with guns and like running like all kinds of like just crazy shit. And he like showed me a picture of like him and his wife and his kid now, and like he's just doing way better. And like, he said it was because he found God. And then the girl across from me like kind of had a not similar story, but like, she was like, after high school, like I started kind of like falling into the wrong path, and then I found God. And like, it was just interesting because I don't know, like I feel like I'm finding God now, but it's not like in the Christian religious sense. And like, it's like my story feels kind of similar, because it's like I came from all this like shit, and now I'm like, I don't know, like living a more peaceful and happy life. And the common thing with all of us is that like we found God, and that's when everything changed. But yeah, it was a great interaction. Like I really got to know these people, and I really hope that I bump into them again on the trolley. Like, great conversation. But anyway, oh, and it was cool too because, like, you know, recently I've been like, oh man, I want to socialize more with people, and like, you know, so I've just been being open to that, like being open to just like finding friends and like talking to people, and like, you know, it's just like they're just coming to me now, like, and you know, like, I'm just doing what I can on the inside to make myself a good friend. You know, like, oh, if I was you know, friends with people, like, how would I act? How would I walk throughout the day? How would I think? How would I view the world if I had friends? And like, they're just like coming along into my world without me. I don't have to go out and seek for it because I found one in me. And when you find it in you, that's when it starts to surround you everywhere. Because we're all one. Everything is one in this world. And so life is a mirror. It's a mirror, dude. You find a friend in you, and there's friends everywhere because you are a friend and you are one with everything. So, yeah, think on that while I go restock this coffee thing, man. Peace. What's up, dudes? Welcome back. Just did some of my work that I had to do for the hostel, which really isn't that much tonight because there's only one check-in. It's the homie Zach, and then this place is really small too, so there's never really that much stuff to do. But just finished editing up some pictures from the party out in Utah. Didn't really get that many, but that's okay. And then I'm about to work on the pictures that I want to print out and sell on the beach. My goal is to have them done by Monday because that's when I get paid again, and then I can buy the prints and get that going. I'm really excited, dude. I kind of like started slacking for a minute because I was like afraid. Like, I'm starting to understand that, like, anytime I procrastinate on things, it's because I'm just afraid of my own, like, greatness, you know? I think that's like something we can all relate to. You know, I think it's because we build an identity around being small and suffering and, you know, all these things. Like, at least in my case, like, I grew comfortable with, like, having very little, and, like, alright, sorry dudes, I kinda got, there was some guy that came in to check in. He got lucky because he, lost his wallet and didn't have his card, or like he left his wallet somewhere, and he was able to call the person with the wallet and be like, what's my card number? So we got him in, and he got the last room available in the one dorm room, so a lucky fella indeed. But anyway, what I was saying was, what was it? At least in my life, like, I kind of like got so used to like being small and being like limited, and you know, for like, I don't know, to just like not be so abundant and be happy and all this, like, you know, I got so comfortable with that you know, stepping outside of that kind of like scares me, you know, like, it scares me to think of greatness and happiness and peace and abundance and, like, you know, just going out and doing my thing. But, you know, the thing is, like, there's nothing to fear in all of these lovely things. And really what's happening is, like, this old identity that's based on lack and and scarcity and just like fear and all this. Like, this is an identity, and when you bring something along that challenges that, or basically says like, oh, this identity has got to go away, like this doesn't fit in this new version of you, that old identity like clings on and like kind of tries to stay alive, but like that identity is the one that like gets you into all of these just like shitty positions in life. And the new identity that's like coming along of like living in abundance and living freely and happily and in peace, that comes along and like challenges this old identity, and you like start freaking out. Like, your ego basically is like what's holding you back. And I see this now where like I never really feared things, I never really feared challenges, I never feared all of this stuff. But what I truly feared all along was myself, my true, real self. And that's what has held me back in a lot of ways in my life, because it's like, again, you just get comfortable with being small and being limited and being all this and all that, and it's like, all this new ways of thinking and these new ways of being like come along, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it's uncharted territory. It's something that you never experienced, and I've never allowed myself to have. And I don't know, dude, like I can see where that's like where a lot of my procrastination has come from, because I know I can do things. I know anybody can do anything. But it's like this old version of you is just holding on for dear life, because if you move on to something different, like that old self has to like die, dude. Like, it literally has to die so that this new version can live. And it's been like I've been starting to just be like, any like old patterns of thought or beliefs and shit that come up, I'm just like, dude, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this where I'm going. That's like something I started putting into my mind, like whenever like these like old ways of being like come up. I just remind myself that like, I'm heading towards places in my life that like I can't take that fear with me. Like, I just can't, because it's not going to fit into this new life that is like coming. Like I see this new version of myself that is abundant and does the things that I want, and like, I'm identifying more and more with that and leaving behind what once was. And I don't know, it's been like a very interesting process, because it literally, like, I was telling my friend Chandler today, shout out Chandler, you a G. I was telling my friend Chandler today because she asked me how I was doing, and I was like, honestly, dude, I feel like I'm dying inside, but it's not a bad thing. Because this old version of me is just, I don't know, it's like I'm like grieving a part of myself, because I'm literally killing it. I'm literally like taking myself out of who I have been and putting myself into who I want to be. And it's like this like grieving and this like uncomfortable shit is just like growing pains, really. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've just been telling myself, like, anytime I think of going back to like drinking and just like wasting my life and like being afraid and stuff. Like, I'm just like, dude, where I'm going, I don't need that. It doesn't fit. I've outgrown that. And I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's so weird. Like, I swear, dude, like, since I turned 25, it's just been like everything that I want has changed. Like, I don't want the same things that I wanted like a year ago. And my goals and shit are way different. And it's not even that like anything has changed, but it's because I have, like, on the inside. And I don't know, dude. It's so important to just like keep your focus within. Keep the focus within, and like keep shaping yourself from the inside out. Like, because you could have the world tell you who you are and have your experiences dictate like what you're gonna think of yourself and who you're gonna believe yourself to be, or you can go based on an internal validation, internal confirmation of things. Like when you, like, who you are, who you truly are is inside. It's not outside at all. What you see on the outside is a result of who you were. Like, who you were is what brought you to where you are, like, physically now. And who you were was also inside, like, I'm seeing how, like, as soon as you stop accepting bullshit from yourself, like, inside, you just naturally, like, don't accept that in the world anymore. You're not gonna settle for bullshit when you know there's better and you deserve more. And so, it's just, yeah, I've just been really focusing within. Becoming who I want to be from the inside out. And, as you shape yourself on the inside, like, you're just naturally going to express that. But the key to it is to actually make a shift inside. Like, you can't just like have a thought of like, oh, I'm gonna be a better person for like 2 seconds of the day, and then the rest of the day be like, oh, I'm a shit person. Like, that's, in order for like a change to actually happen and to stay, like, you have to actually move states inside. You have to completely leave behind everything that you were and like sustain this new version of yourself that you want to be. Anytime you have thoughts of like going back to your old ways, like, you have to, if you truly want to have the change, like, you have to be like, no, like, I'm not going back, I'm going forward, I'm going this way now. And it's not always easy. I've had it happen time and time again where it's just like a thought comes up of like, oh, go do this thing that you used to do, because it's comfortable, it's familiar. And I would go back, and then I'd just reap the same results that I always had been reaping. But now it's like I see how it's like, dude, if you want something different in your life, like, don't sit around and wait for everything else to change. Don't expect the life you want to just like come to you from the outside. Like, don't wait for someone to tell you like, hey, you can live your life how you want to now. Like, no, you have to validate yourself inside. And that's got to be like the only confirmation you need is from yourself, to be like, I'm different now. And to prove it to yourself, really. Like, at the end of the day, you just prove it to yourself. Not to anyone else, not for anyone else, but like, if it's something that you truly want, you have to stick with it. And it's within. Like, you don't need to go out and try to if you go out and try to change everything on the outside in your life, that's just, it's not getting to like the core of the thing. Like, you might be able to move things around temporarily, but like, if you don't change who you are within, that change that you make on the outside, like, it's not gonna last, because your life is always matching who you are inside. And so, like for example, like relationships, like, you might end up in a relationship, but if you don't sustain it within, and you don't put in that effort to be a partner and be in it, like, it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. Like, it may come along for a little bit, and you may go out and get a partner, but like, if you aren't on that level inside, like, and you're not a committed person within, like, it's just not gonna last. And like, just like with wealth, like, if you're not a wealthy person inside, which means that you think like a wealthy person, you manage things how a wealthy person would, like, you could win the lottery and all that money could be gone tomorrow, because you aren't sustaining that lifestyle. What I'm talking about is not something that you just do once and it all just magically falls in place. No, this is an every moment of time practice to simply be who you want to be inside. And you're, either way, like, you're choosing to be something every moment of time. So like, in order for you to reap the results that you actually want, you have to constantly, 24/7, be aware of like what you're choosing inside. Like, you can't escape yourself, so you might as well master yourself. All right, again, we had somebody pull up into the front desk, but I think I got the point across for today. I got out what I wanted to say. I really hope these videos like help people, at least one person. I hope, like, because like, this type of, like, what I'm talking about, like, has just changed my life. And what I'm talking about is the concept of imagination creating reality. And the more I practice it, the more I realize that, like, it's so true. It's like the most natural and normal thing too. Like, who you believe you are creates a thought that mirrors that, and that thought evokes a feeling, and that feeling produces an action which the universe reacts to. The universe is always just reacting to you. Just try it out. Like, change. Like, just watch how, like, if you're being social, like, people are being social back. If you say hi, people say hi back. If you're in a pissed off mood, people mirror that. If you're all pissed off, someone else is going to be pissed off too. Like, the world is just reacting to you. And so, it's important to, like, not react to things, but act in this world. And, but, like, your acts come from imagination. It all comes from within. But anyway, today's word of the day is boondoggle, which is a noun meaning expensive, wasteful, or unnecessary project often funded by public money It is also historically used to describe a braided cord worn by Boy Scouts. I'd say the whole government is a boondoggle, dude. But I think I'm gonna call that for the video today. I hope y'all enjoyed. Hope y'all gained something from it. And yeah, stay tuned for my adventures with Zach coming up. We're gonna have a jolly old time while he's out here. It's gonna be a fun time. But I love you guys. Peace out.